Welcome to Continental Championship Wrestling, home of the National Wrestling Alliance, featuring champions from throughout the continental United States. And now to your host, world-renowned wrestling commentator, Gordon Soley.
Thank you. Thank you so very, very much, and welcome to another hour of Continental Championship Wrestling. We're going to be seeing the Wildcat Wendell Cooley in action during this next hour. We'll also be seeing an Australian tag team match, Robert Fuller and Jimmy Golden taking on two very, very tough opponents. And we do have a steel cage match upcoming. Unlike many other wrestling programs across the nation, here on Continental Championship Wrestling, we bring you main events. And I do mean main events such as this steel cage match that is upcoming. So, by all means, do stay tuned, and we're getting set to go now with our first match here on Continental Championship Wrestling. So, let's turn it over to our ring announcer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this television event will be one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Now making his way to ringside, he is escorted by beautiful Buddy Landell. Parts unknown, weight unknown, Shogun.
If heaven ain't a lot like Dixie, I just as soon stay home.
And ladies and gentlemen, from Milton, Florida, 227 pounds, Wildcat Wendell Cooley.
Wildcat Wendell Cooley in the gray trunks in the ring now, getting set to move out against the Shogun. Shogun brought to the ring by the Continental Heavyweight Champion, Buddy Landell. Referee Roy George now explaining, taking away those nunchucks and putting them outside the ring. One fall, 15-minute time limit. The bell has rung. And the Shogun in the corner, preparing himself, psyching himself up, preparing himself mentally for this match against Wildcat Wendell Cooley. Cooley eyeing his man carefully. Shogun tentatively landing a foot back there. He's ready to deal some savate blows that he can. And Cooley eyeing his man carefully. You hear the comments from Buddy Landell at ringside. Referee Roy George warning Landell, and I would imagine admonishing him about using that microphone. Aha! Shogun caught Cooley that time, side of the head. Quick move. Cooley having his problems. Take a moment to congratulate Miss Josephine Mayer, who will be graduating shortly. She's a member of the senior class of Isabella High School. Their commencement exercises are Friday evening, May 29th. Our congratulations to Josephine. Cooley having his problems now as Shogun has caught Cooley off guard. Basically, he's just not used to this kind of an approach to wrestling.
Get out, baby. Oh, you still got your teeth.
Now Cooley offering to test him and challenge him in a test of strength and leverage, and Cooley very quickly moves in on his man. Shogun apparently equal to the challenge right now. And it's Cooley breaking it up, but Shogun retaliates. Shogun has to take a good, beautiful kip out, man. It was for Cooley connecting with a hard. And Cooley now connects with a boot, but it is Shogun retaliating. Cooley was over that top rope, but the referee did not see it. And Buddy Landell, 3 cheap shots on Wildcat Wendell Cooley. Cooley coming back in very, very slowly. Landell certainly scored, put his points home. Cooley powers out before the count. Shogun catches him. Landing a foot to the back again. Cooley up against those ring ropes. Shogun fires him off the ropes. Ooh! Shogun caught him right in the throat that time. Shogun with a lateral press, but Cooley again powers out. The Wildcat is in trouble here, no question about it. Now, Shogun going to one of those critical nerve areas. That could rob that right arm of its feeling as well. Cooley. Cooley off of those ropes. Caught again by Shogun. And again, the Shogun goes after that nerve center. Landell looking very pleased with himself at this point in time. Of course, he is a cheap shot artist. No question about that. I want to thank Steve Minari of St. Louis for his comments regarding Continental Championship Wrestling. And Shogun misses that time, and it's Cooley up and over his man. And Shogun goes for the sleeper. Shogun goes for the sleeper, but Cooley lunges forward. Shogun hurtled into that turnbuckle. And that saved Cooley from Knoxville. Cooley now, series of hard lefts and a right. Shogun is down. Good old-fashioned American fist that time. Shogun retaliates. And Cooley is hurtled from the ring. And again, Landell catches it this time. Shogun catches Cooley from behind, however. And Landell drops from top of Shogun now. Now they're both on Cooley. Referee is called for the bell. Referee is called for the bell. Cooley just cleared the ring, however. He just cleared the ring. And Scott Armstrong got a hold of those nunchucks. And Cooley, still irate, has his hand raised in victory. Outside interference. Wildcat Wendell Cooley wins via outside interference. Here's the official word.
Ladies and winner in the time of 6 minutes, 26 seconds, Wildcat Wendell Cooley.
Certainly an outstanding match that we just watched, but right now I've asked both Tom Pritchard and Robert Fuller to join me here at the desk because of something that is upcoming. I'm talking about, of course, a 2-ring battle royal. Last week we had an opportunity to see sort of a mini battle royal, if you will, when at one point we ended up with 11 people in the ring.
Well, that's right, Gordon, and you're talking about a battle royal here that's going to have more than twice that amount of people, and you're talking about 7,000 pounds being in one ring. I'm talking about that first ring that everybody starts in. That thing's going to have to be reinforced, and we're talking about a lot of dangerous people being in one ring at the same time, Gordon.
No question about that, and I'll tell you what, before I talk further about this with Robert Fuller and Tom Pritchard, let's take a look at the closing moments of, as I said last week, a mini battle royal.
The headhunter caught Robert Fuller. The headhunter caught Fuller. And the referee, oh my, the referee takes the pinfall on Fuller. The headhunters, and there you see the Shogun still punishing the Tennessee Stud. And now you've got Jimmy Golden out there. And we're going to have to try and get some kind of order restored here. The Tennessee Stud still after Buddy Landell. They're the headhunters, and there's Buddy Landell, the Tennessee Stud. We've got them all back in the center of the ring. And, brother, you talk about wild, crazy action. We've got it going here. Referee Roy George really powerless to do anything at this point in time. The Dirty White Boy back in there. Buddy Landell. Everybody after the Tennessee Stud. And now it's Jimmy Golden battling it away, and Jerry Stubbs catching him in there. Those nunchucks again across the back of Jimmy Golden. Tony Anthony punishing the Tennessee Stud. Hold on, the Nightmare just hit the ring. The Nightmare just hit the ring. Now the headhunters are back in there. We've got total chaos and confusion going here. And now the second Nightmare has just gone into the ring. And the ring is absolutely filled with wildness. This is a crazy melee going on now. We've got to get order restored. We'll be back. We'll be back once we get order restored. We'll be right back.
Of course, I might point out that match started off, by the way, as a tag team championship and ended up with total and absolute chaos. But when you consider that there's going to be perhaps double that number of people in the ring, over 7,000 pounds in that first ring, as Robert put out, it's going to be have to be reinforced. Anything could happen.
Most definitely anything could happen, because you got the Continental Tag Team Champions in there going to try and stay in and be at least that last two in ring number one, because if you get thrown over in ring number two, that means you still got one more chance, Gordon, to stay in there and fight and at least become the last two men in ring number two, because if you get thrown over that third time, you might as well hit the trails and go back to the dressing room. But you know, Gordon, a lot of things could happen in this match. You got two rings, and as you said earlier, 7,000 pounds. You know, it could end up me and the Dirty White Boy and Jerry Stubbs end up in the other ring. You never know. It could end up maybe you and me, Robert. And you know, you left me out in the cold once before, pal, so I noticed your attitude's changing just a little bit. But you got to remember, I know everything there is to know about you, as well as Jimmy Golden. And this is two rings, buddy. What do you think if you and me became partners, Rob? What do you think that...
You know, Gordon, that's an interesting point right here. We're talking about amount of being $50,000. It's what's going to happen with me and you if we do wind up partners, and you turn on me and I don't get a shot at this $50,000. That if I wind up with anybody as a partner, Gordon, I'm figuring you're going to split $25,000. You're not going to have to worry about any backstabbing in that particular match. I wouldn't think I'd have to worry about it from you either, Tom Pritchard.
Certainly not, Rob. I've never had anything. The whole thing I'm trying to say is, Rob, you don't know who you're going to end up as a partner. You don't know who those last two men are going to be in ring number one, and you don't know about ring number two. So anything could happen with it. A lot of money.
Interesting point, of course, like you see in the Pro Bowl each year out in Hawaii. You see fellows who are adversaries all year long who are suddenly teammates. So these two could indeed end up being teammates in this two-ring battle royal that's upcoming. And I'll tell you what.
I wish you the best of luck if you get it, man.
Yeah, well, you know, there's a couple of points here that he didn't cover well, Gordon, I don't believe. There's one thing in this thing that part of it coming together, just from what you saw in this film right here, there's been so much mixed blood. So many of your popular guys you run around with, Jerry Stubbs and the Dirty White Boy, and this bunch that's all hitting the ring in other people's matches. That's what's brought this thing about. And now they're going to put everybody in the ring, along with the Russians, there's guys coming from every part of the country in this thing to be involved for a great event. This is the greatest event, in my opinion, in professional wrestling, the two-ring triple chance battle royal. He just said it. You're going to get three chances. The first one, when you start out in that first ring, when you're thrown into the second ring, that's your second chance. And you want to stay in there and be the last two guys left in that ring two, the last two guys left in ring one, regardless of who they're going to be. will then try for that third chance, and that's who can win the Australian tag match.
All I can say to each and every one of you who are viewing right now, when this two-ring triple chance battle royal comes your way, don't miss it. Continental Championship Wrestling, Columbus, Mississippi, Friday, April 3rd, 8:30 p.m., Lavender Coliseum, 7 big matches, no increase in prices. There will be a 20-man, two-ring, triple chance battle royal, $50,000 to the winners. Continental Tag Team title, Robert Fuller and Jimmy Golden against Jerry Stubbs and the Dirty White Boy. Continental title, Wendell Cooley against Buddy Landell. The Exotic Adrian Street against Tom Pritchard. The Nightmares against Yuri and Vladimir Goryenko. Mr. Wrestling 2 against Rip Rogers. Larry Hamilton against the Shogun. A quick reminder right now that wrestling will be coming to Phil Campbell, Alabama on Tuesday, March 31st at the Junior College Gymnasium, and then Amory, Mississippi on Thursday, April 9th at the National Guard Armory, and Gordo, Alabama, Tuesday, April 14th at the high school gymnasium. And, of course, Columbus, Mississippi, Friday, April 3rd, Lavender Coliseum. It will be Mr. Tom Pritchard facing the Exotic Adrian Street.
Or Tinkerbell, as I like to call him, because I haven't seen a wrestler too many times like Adrian Street with bows in his hair and little pink laces on his tights. But, you know, it's not going to be really me having the headaches, I think, in Columbus, Mississippi. Of course, we've got a two-ring triple chance battle royal for $50,000. But these nightmares, the Smurfs of professional wrestling, are going up against a couple of guys combined that weigh 700 pounds.
Yeah, the Goryenko brothers, they are big, the big Russians. It's going to be something to see. Let's listen to these comments.
I heard that Tom Pritchard was thinking of having a brain transplant. Don't waste your money, Tom. Your body's rejected the one you've got.
700 pounds of Russians coming right there in Columbus, Mississippi. Well, okay, bring yourselves on down because two boys from the USA are going to be there, and the support of the wrestling fans will be behind us.
All right, it's all going to take place in Columbus, Mississippi, Friday, April 3rd, 8:30 p.m., and that'll be at the Lavender Coliseum. We sincerely urge you to make your plans to attend. A 20-man, two-ring, triple chance battle royal, $50,000 to the winners.
Ladies and gentlemen, this television event will be one fall with a 15-minute time limit. From parts unknown at 222 pounds, the Executioner. His partner, accompanied by his valet, Miss Brenda Britton. 235 pounds from Los Angeles, California, Hustler Rip Rogers. And ladies and gentlemen, from Dyersburg, Tennessee, 241 pounds, luscious Robert Fuller. Montgomery, Alabama, 236 pounds, gorgeous Jimmy Golden.
Jimmy Golden and Robert Fuller getting set to move out. And, brother, they have not waited for bells or anything else. There's no formality here of tagging up. They've just decided to take each other on. And so we've got all four in the ring at the same time. And it's the Executioner and the Hustler Rip Rogers outside the ring. Golden and Fuller standing tall in the ring at this moment. An Australian tag team event. By the way, we'd sure like to welcome Channel 54, Huntsville, Alabama, to our legion of stations across the nation. Nice to have them aboard. And, of course, Continental Championship Wrestling will be coming to the Huntsville area in the very, very near future. The Executioner in trouble now as Fuller and Golden tag up. Snap mare. And another snap mare. A rear chinlock now by Robert Fuller. Fuller keeping the pressure on him. Fuller in the canary yellow trunks. The Executioner having his problems. And the Hustler, Rip Rogers, not looking any too anxious to tag up. Once again, back to a rear chinlock. Tag is made. Jimmy Golden moves into the ring. And a full body slam on the Executioner. Those 26 vertebrae beginning to take a pounding now. Another high hip toss on the Executioner. And a knee lift that takes the Executioner off his feet once again. Referee is John Keaton. Snapmare now as Fuller's back into the ring. The Executioner tagged up with the Hustler, Rip Rogers. And so the Hustler moves in. He's feeling somewhat confident, I am sure. They lock up, collar and elbow. Full body slam by the Hustler, Rip Rogers. Comes down, but Fuller moves to one side, catches him a good high hip toss. And a spin under takedown, another spin under. Rogers back into those ring ropes, makes the tag with the Executioner. The Executioner did not get much of a respite that time. Executioner caught with the back of the elbow by Jimmy Golden. Puts him back to the canvas. Another snapmare and the tag is made. They lock up and they're back up against the ring ropes. Hustler, Rip Rogers having tagged up, and Brenda Britton interfering outside the ring. Fuller's got his hands full now as the Hustler is really beginning to move effectively. Keeps him from making that tag. Say what you will about the Hustler, Rip Rogers, but he is a double tough individual. Jimmy Golden over there warning Brenda Britton to stay out of the ring and stay away from the competitors. Snapmare by Rogers. Rogers drives a fist. Under the chin, into the throat area, makes a tag with the Executioner. The Executioner moves in, and he catches Fuller, catches him once again. Fuller fires back to the midsection. Fuller firing away. Fuller slips through. Makes the tag with Jimmy Golden, and Jimmy Golden charges into the ring. Golden explodes with left and right. Catches the Hustler, catches him once again. Quick double teaming here on the Executioner. Double backdrop. Bottom in the Fuller leg lock. But more interestingly enough, what happened to Hustler, Rip Rogers? I don't see him outside the camera range at all. The Executioner concedes. And it appears to me I don't see the Hustler there anywhere at all. It appears to me he just walked off and left the Executioner to his own fate. But there you see the victors in this match, Jimmy Golden and Robert Fuller. For the official word, here's our ring announcer.
Ladies and gentlemen, at a time of 5 minutes and 2 seconds, your winner, gorgeous Jimmy Goldman and Lessick Robert Fuller.
Wrestling in Phil Campbell, Alabama, Tuesday, March 31st, Junior College Gymnasium. Amory, Mississippi on Thursday, April 9th at 8 p.m. That'll be at the National Guard Armory. And in Gordo, Alabama, Tuesday, April 14th at the High School Gymnasium. And, of course, in Columbus, Mississippi on Friday, April 3rd, 8:30, Lavender Coliseum. I might just point out that Jerry Stubbs and the Dirty White Boy, Continental Tag titles against Robert Fuller and Jimmy Golden.
Fuller and Golden. What a joke that is, Gordon, because there's no way that they're going to get these titles away from the White Boy and Mr. Perfect Jerry Stubbs. And after we get through eliminating them and just beating their brains out, Daddy, then we're going to step in a two-ring, triple chance battle. Whew, battle royal, baby, 50 grand to the winner. And me and this man right here has got plans for all that cash.
Well, you know, Gordon, after Robert and Jimmy's match in Columbus last time, myself and the White Boy were standing back there minding their own business when both of them jumped us. Well, boys, I hadn't forgot about it. I got more to settle than just these titles here, boys.
Yeah, all right, let's listen to these comments.
You know, Columbus, Mississippi has been a great town for Robert Fuller and myself to be wrestling in. This Friday night when we get there, the opportunities are going to be a whole lot better, brother. We're talking about a chance to win the Continental Tag Team Championships. And, brother, we're going to be ready for it. That's right, baby. Wrestling a team like Chrome Dome, we're going to have to go back to wearing our sunglasses. Thanks, Jimmy. But one thing for sure, there's more money going down in that town than there's going to be down there in a long time, $50,000. And I plan to get my part of it, Jimmy. I know you want your part. We got a chance to win the title and leave there with that money. And if there's any way to do it, baby, we're going to be doing it, right?
7 big matches, no increase in price.
You know, I'd like to say one thing else, Gordon. Those people in Columbus, Mississippi, you better start respecting us as champions. When we walk in, you better know that, hey, we want respect, and you better give it to us.
Sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, this cage match is one fall with television time remaining. Ladies and gentlemen, now making their way into the ring. First, from Bucksnort, Tennessee, 232 pounds, the Dirty White Boy. And from Pensacola, Florida, 246 pounds, he calls himself Mr. Perfect, Jerry Stubbs. They are the Continental Tag Team Champions. And ladies and gentlemen, the challengers, 431 pounds from the US of A, the Nightmares.
Early on, of course, steel cage match. One fall television time remaining. It will be the Nightmares moving out against the Dirty White Boy, Tony Anthony, and Jerry Stubbs. Anthony and Stubbs, of course, currently hold the Continental Tag Team Championship. The Nightmares have gone past Lots of titles. Their thought now is, there you see the steel cage being locked. Chain surrounding it. Now the cage is being locked. Nobody in and nobody out. Bell has rung. And very quickly, in the steel cage, of course, it's like, in a sense, Texas Tornado. All four men in there at one time. And so the Nightmares. Good snap mare. And meanwhile, Jerry Stubbs catching it. We said, of course, it is with television time remaining. And so we will have to be cutting away to commercial breaks as we move along. If that's the case, however, our camera crews will keep on rolling, and we'll bring, should the finish to the match come, should a pinfall or a submission hold happen, then we will, of course, bring that to you on instant replay. But right now, the Nightmares taking their lumps from this combination of the Dirty White Boy, Tony Anthony, and Jerry Stubbs. And it's Stubbs really punishing the Nightmare now. But it's a 50-50 battle as Nightmare 2 has Tony Anthony in trouble. Appeared that maybe he wanted to leave that steel cage. Anthony connecting with a hard right hand that puts the Nightmare back into the corner. Nobody in and nobody out. Steel cage. And wait a minute. Nightmare moving up on that top rope. Caught by Stubbs and then dropped by Tony Anthony. Texas Tornado rules here in this steel cage match. And I see that Tom Pritchard has joined me here.
Gordon, I was just back in the back here, and I wasn't too sure if you clarified the rules on this match, or if the people even knew the rules on this match. Did you realize that you had to at least pin one man? You had to get a pinfall to be able to climb out of the ring and then touch the floor. That's the only way anybody could be a winner in this match, and this is a very dangerous match, I might add.
It is indeed. Of course, those are the Nightmare rules. And this was discussed, I think, at length. Now it's Anthony trying to crawl out of there, but to no avail. And I might point out, too, that it's a Texas Tornado from the standpoint that all four men are in the ring at the same time.
Well, there's no doubt about it. All four guys in there are tough. They've been through it all. They've had some pretty fierce battles. But if you notice, let me just take you back to the beginning of this match. Did you notice by any chance who locked that cage door?
Well, of course, Scott Armstrong.
Of course, Scott Armstrong. Scott Armstrong. It's down from professional wrestling, from getting in the middle of that ring, doing battle. About the only thing it looks like he can do now is lock the cage door.
Well, the man was injured, and very frankly, well, wait a minute, the Nightmare now really putting it to him, the second Nightmare. Getting set, he's climbing out of the ring. He's a cover. They've caught him. They've caught him. So he isn't able to make it out. They've got a strong hold on that foot, and he's not going to be... He's trying again. But Stubbs now hooks those tights. And now Stubbs moving up on the top with him, and now the Dirty White Boy into the back to the canvas.
It's going to take a lot more than that to beat Jerry Stubbs and the Dirty White Boy, but I just want to make a little point here, Gordon.
Well, now, if you're talking about Scott Armstrong again, let's face it. The man was injured. The doctors say that he cannot wrestle, so that's it.
Well, Sugar Ray Leonard was injured, too, but you saw him make a comeback. You saw him put the gloves back on against Hagler. He's going to come back, but you can see poor Scott Armstrong is content with sitting at the ring, making some announcements here and there in an intermission, because he knows he can't carry out that family dynasty of Armstrong anymore.
Well, Mr. Pritchard,
I see him week after week. I see him in town after town, sitting there shaking like a rabbit because he knows he can never step in the ring again. He's got no guts. He's got no heart. Injured or not, the man is right where he belongs, sitting down in a chair announcing, because he could never get in the ring again.
Well, Mr. Pritchard, you're entitled to your opinion, and I certainly wouldn't deny that. I would have to really disagree with the fact that Scott Armstrong is scared. He is a second-generation competitor, and I don't believe he's afraid of anybody or anything. We're going to cut away here and let the stations make a little bit of money, and then we'll be back. Should a pinfall or submission happen while we're away, we'll bring it to you in instant replay. We'll be right back. If you please remember, wrestling in Phil Campbell, Alabama, Tuesday, March 31st. Emory, Mississippi on Thursday, April 9th, and Gordo, Alabama on Tuesday, April 14th. And, of course, Columbus, Mississippi, 7 big matches, no increase in prices. Friday, April 3rd, 8:30, Lavender Coliseum. And I would assume, Mr. Wendell, after that $2,500 fine, you will be there this time.
Well, let me tell you something, Gordon. I'm trying to appeal it right now in the courts with a promotion here because the Tennessee Stud, Fuller, and Golden run me off the road. It took me 2.5 hours. It cost me $75 for a tow truck. Get out of that ditch you run me into, baby. They tell me if I'm not there this time, it's going to be $5 grand out of my pocket. Wendell, Cooley, I don't know who you're dating, Daddy, to get a date with, to get a chance at this belt, baby. I don't know whose daughter you're going out with. You must know where the body's buried or something, baby. You don't deserve a chance. But I'm going to teach you a lesson, baby. Just ask the Tennessee Stud what's going to happen to you in Columbus.
And, of course, the Shogun faces Larry Hamilton in the opening match, and you've got a busy night.
It's going to be a big night in Columbus, baby. $50,000 for me. And wrestling, too, you're going to feel the wrath of the 29-inch bicep.
Yeah, let's listen to these comments, shall we?
Big night happening in Columbus, Mississippi on Friday night. You know, Buddy Landell, you told me if I could beat the Shogun, I could have a shot at that Continental title. Well, I beat him. He went down to the Stampede, and then Friday night in Columbus, Mississippi, that's exactly what's going to happen to you. I'm going to stampede you and knock you back into the next area code, if you know what I'm coming from, and there's $50,000 to be won there, Larry, after you get through taking care of the Shogun.
Man, the money sounds good. Shogun, somebody give him a quarter and call somebody, because I think he's just a big joke, brother. I'm going to knock him out. Now, $50,000 was a lot of money, so maybe me and you split that right down the middle. That's right, Larry. I'll be looking forward to it.
A lot of money.
Triple
Triple chance battle royal, Columbus, Mississippi. Buddy Landell, you're going down, baby.
Advanced ringside tickets are available at Shirley's Minute Mark. That's right, Shirley's Minute Mark. Advanced ringside tickets are available for the matches in Columbus. Well, neither team has been able to score a pinfall at this point in time, and so it is indeed a rugged battle. There is a pinfall. Now let's see if he's able to get out of the ring. That's the next important thing. And so the Nightmare is moving up. He's up on top. No, sir. Tony Anthony has caught him. Dirty white boy. And dragging him back. That, of course, is the Nightmare rules. If you score a pinfall, then you've got to be able to climb out of the ring. That's the only way you can win. And thus far, there have been several pinfalls, but nobody's been able to get outside the ring. Jerry Stubbs back in action once again. The dirty white boy punishing the Nightmare as he's caught on those ropes. Chain link fence surrounding this ring. And well, the Nightmare's in trouble now, taking a headbutt. Count of 3, and so it'll be Stubbs or Tony Anthony going to try and escape from the steel cage itself. And the Nightmare again catches him before he can get out. Now Tony Anthony trying to get out, both of them trying to get out. That would give them a victory in this match, but again, they have been blocked. They have not been able to move outside the steel cage. And that is an absolute must to win the match. He's got the sleeper hold. Tony Anthony breaks it up. And if they could have gotten Stubbs unconscious with that sleeper hold, that certainly would have given them a tremendous edge to get them outside of the ring. Now, Tony Anthony moving again, catches one coming in. And the Nightmare, a mule kick on Jerry Stubbs. And they put Stubbs back to the canvas. Stubbs in trouble, the Nightmare. Lateral press, up to the far leg. Gets the pinfall. Gets the pinfall. So now it's the Nightmare's opportunity to crawl up and try and get outside that steel cage. No. Tony Anthony catching up once again. And now Jerry Stubbs has his arms wrapped around the legs of the Nightmare. Meanwhile, Tony Anthony knocked to one side by the other Nightmare, and so now it is Stubbs, and now the Nightmare. No, sir. Tony Anthony closes in once again. And the Nightmare looks like he's... No, sir. Again, Anthony. And now it's the Nightmare back onto the canvas once again. As he came down, his foot crashed into the head of his tag team partner. And this could spell quite a difference in this match. Anthony back on his feet, delivers a hard right hand into the head of the Nightmare. And Stubbs is about to lose some dignity here. Stubbs going up on the ring ropes. The Nightmare catches him from behind. Bear hug on him, and Stubbs still trying to make it over the top. Only Anthony trying to break it up. The Nightmare hanging on, but Stubbs is almost over the top. Almost all the way over. He's got one leg coming over the top of that steel cage. And the Nightmare catches him once again. Dirty white boy. Two forearms into the back, and now catches Jerry Stubbs, beating him back down into the ring. Nightmare hung up in the ropes now. And so the Nightmare's in bad shape here. Tony Anthony and Jerry Stubbs almost in control, but one Nightmare connects with a hard right hand. He's over there trying to free his partner's leg. He has him freed, but that may have taken its toll. And so the one Nightmare may be partially in the action here, and Tony Anthony very quickly going after that already injured leg. Stubbs back into the ring once again. Count of three on that one, and so the Nightmare now. This could be it. The Nightmare going to the far side, coming up on the, moving up on the ropes. Tony Anthony catches him a forearm across the back. Anthony catching it that one. And wait a minute. Stubbs back on his feet. And so he's got the Nightmare hanging on tenaciously, but Stubbs pulling backwards just as fiercely. The Nightmare again trying to make it to the top, but can't do it. He's back inside on the canvas itself. Stubbs driven into that steel cage. Count of three on the Nightmare, this time by Tony Anthony. And so it's Tony Anthony now who will be trying to get outside the steel cage. Remember, once he accomplishes that, it's over. He has a death grip on that foot right now. Now reaches up. Tony Anthony trying to figure a way to get away, and Jerry Stubbs smashed back into that steel cage, and that steel is finally done a number on Stubbs' head. There's no question about it. I said, of course, in the event we do have to cut away for a commercial break or all, in the event of a pinfall, why, of course, we will bring it to you in instant replay. All right, Tony Anthony up on that. Well, we've got two of them now trying to move their way out. The Dirty White Boy trying to get out on one side, and the Nightmare on the other, and he's got his foot over the top. He's off. He's got some problems now as Stubbs took every advantage possible. Meanwhile, the Nightmare trying to stop Tony Anthony from getting out. All right, both of them up there on the... and we are going to have to break away here for just a moment. We will break away, and we'll be right back as the action continues in this steel cage match. Continental Championship Wrestling, Columbus, Mississippi, Friday, April 3rd, 8:30 p.m., Lavender Coliseum. 7 big matches, no increase in prices. There will be a 20-man, 2-ring, triple chance battle royal, $50,000 to the winners. Continental Tag Team title, Robert Fuller and Jimmy Golden against Jerry Stubbs and the Dirty White Boy. Continental title, Wendell Cooley against Buddy Landell. The exotic Adrian Street against Tom Pritchard. The Nightmares against Yuri and Vladimir Goryenko. Mr. Wrestling 2 against Rip Rogers. Larry Hamilton against the Shogun. I'd like to take a moment right now to talk to these gentlemen about one of the most dangerous but richest matches in the world, the 2-ring triple chance battle royal.
Well, that's right, Gordon, and this one is involving more than 20 men, more than 7,000 pounds in the ring. I hear they're going to have to reinforce ring number 1 because that's where everybody begins. And ultimately, 2 people going to finish in ring 1, and they're going to wrestle the 2 people in ring 2. And $50,000 is going to the winners. That's $25,000 per man, and I can't wait personally to get in there because I certainly would like to get some of that bread.
Lots of dough. We're talking about bodies flying everywhere, brother. You said an exciting match that it is, and I'm looking forward to it because there's lots of money in there and some dues to be paid.
Of course, the interesting thing about this is you could find... the 2 finalists could be the exotic Adrian Street or Larry Hamilton. But then again, it could be you and maybe Tom Pritchard as your partner.
As my partner? If Tom Pritchard ended up being my partner, I think I'd sacrifice the $50,000. I mean, $50,000 is a lot of money, even to somebody like me. Could keep me in lipstick for a week. But I'm afraid I'd sacrifice that $50,000 if Tom Pritchard happened to be my partner.
Well, you know, going in every day, you'd be blessed to get involved in a situation like this. You know, 50 grand is a lot of money. There's a lot of danger involved in this thing. You know, you got a bunch of guys in there. I'm just glad to be a part of it and look forward to some of that money.
All right, watch for it. 2-ring triple chance battle royal. As you can see, all 4 men are still in the ring, but it is Tony Anthony who is just brought back into the squared circle by the Nightmare. And time is rapidly running down on this steel cage match under Nightmare rules. I might just point out while we have an opportunity that you're going to be seeing next week Yuri and Vladimir Goryenkov, the Russian team, and between the 2 of them weigh about 700 pounds. Also, Wildcat Wendell Cooley, you'll be seeing Buddy Landell against Cooley for the Continental title. World's Strongest Man, Doug Furnace, will be here. You'll also be seeing the legend himself, Mr. Wrestling 2, and some highlights from Shake, Wrestle, and Roll. But right now, let's stay with the action here as the Nightmares and Jerry Stubbs and the Dirty White Boy continue to battle it out in this steel cage. Many attempts have been made, and he's got the sleeper hold. He's got the sleeper hold on Stubbs. As we said, of course, time is rapidly running down. Be sure and join us again next week here on Continental Championship Wrestling. Once again, a special welcome to TV 54 in Huntsville. And let's stay with the action, even though the time is gone. Let's stay with the action. And, well, we're just totally out of time. Until next week, then, Gordon Soley saying so long for Continental Championship Wrestling.